What up, Dokkanners? At long last, the Year 3 LRs are finally getting their EZAs, and with these two events that are going to be active starting later on today, you will have access to 33 Dragonstones a pop, totaling to 66 Dragonstones. Easy Dragonstones. Why would you not want to do these events? So let's just jump in, talk about the unit's EZAs, let's talk about the team building strategies, and let's just jump into it. So here we go. We're looking at the Int Vegito and the physical Gogeta. Both of these guys are exactly the same in their untransformed state. Only difference is typing and leader skill. One leads Patara, one leads Fusion at 180% a pop. So both are really, really good. The main thing, honestly, even though that their transform states are insanely busted, what I'm most happy about is that their original forms, their untransformed forms, are actually a whole lot better. Because one of the biggest issues with these two units is you want to be waiting until turn 6 to be able to transform them, right? But the problem is they don't really have much in terms of defense to keep themselves protected up until this point, because they just don't have any defense. So with this EZA, they get that defense. Raising attack and defense for one turn, causing Colossal or Mega Colossal. Applies to both. They get a built-in medium chance for a critical hit and medium chance to dodge, so you have a way out of a sticky situation if a possible super that temporarily raises your attack and defense is not enough. And what's even better is that the way that they've built this, you could calibrate your hidden potential to favor more additionals, which means possibly a second super attack where you're raising attack and defense twice, and also you have a medium chance to dodge. So overall consistency, survivability, reliability of this unit is much higher with this EZA. Now, when they transform, they have some similarities and some differences. So let's go over the similarities first. They both have the ability to raise attack and defense, cause Colossal and Mega Colossal. Greatly raises defense, causes Mega Colossal. And then one difference here is that the Gogeta greatly lowers attack and defense. This is going to be primarily useful on things like Super Battle Road, whereas the Vegito raises allies' attack by 30% for one turn. This works on any event, but it's not really as profound of a difference in terms of your overall performance against the opponent. Now, looking at the passive, both units fully recover HP when they transform. Both have attack and defense plus 200%, and both units gain key plus 3 per rainbow key sphere obtained. That's pretty much what they have in common. Now let's take a look at their differences. For the Vegito, he is able to counter normal attacks with tremendous power. On top of that, he has the ability to reduce damage received by 30% for 3 turns from the start of his transformed turn, Then that damage reduction drops down to half starting from the 4th turn onwards. Now, this may seem like it's low, but this is actually very powerful when you compound that with an attack and defense of 200%, the fact that you are greatly raising defense on the Ultra Super, or even just regular defense boost on the regular Super, and on a double 180% team or higher than that, this is all going to add up to some pretty crazy protection. Not only does this protect you from normal attacks, but this also protects you from super attacks, which is the best part of this. Now, obviously, he's defensive oriented, which means anytime he gets hit, he can counter with tremendous power. So this does unfortunately kind of work against your build, because you might probably be favoring your additionals, not your criticals. Normally, when it comes to counters, you ideally want to be looking towards more critical emphasis, because that way you can do extra damage when it's not your turn. So it all depends on how you want to build this unit. You want to be building the unit for the pre-transform state or for the post-transform state. So that part's up to you. In my humble opinion, my priority is additional. I want to be focusing on coverage and defense, which means the possibility of the criticals will just have to drop, and that's just the way it is. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to the physical Gogeta, when he transforms, all attacks are effective against all types. Performs a guaranteed critical hit when attacking and high chance to dodge for 3 turns from the start of the turn. So this guy's not about defense, he's all about offense. High chance to perform a critical hit and medium chance to dodge on the 4th turn onward, so it basically drops a little bit down. So he still has a way out. It's more of a risk-reward type unit where you have the potential to do a lot of damage, but you also have the potential to take a lot of damage, and that's the trade-off here. So if you're going full additional, that's good, because your critical hit is pretty much covered the rest of the way, which means in terms of hidden potential building, this unit is a lot more user-friendly. So let me know in the comments, which unit overall do you think is better? Physical Gogeta or Int Vegito? All things considered, I am going to go with Int Vegito on this one, but that doesn't mean I don't love my Gogeta. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now let's take a look at the event. Both units are LR EZA events. Both have 10 stages, each one giving you 3 Dragonstones a pop, and then an extra 3 stones for the mission of clearing stage 7-1. So in total, 33 Dragonstones can be earned just from one event. Then of course you're doing this twice. So since this unit is an int, you obviously want to be bringing physical. The category of weakness is final trump card. What this means is that when you bring final trump card units, you will be taking significantly less damage from the Vegito's attacks, and you will do more damage if you're able to catalyze the legendary power link. This link is active exclusively amongst the LRs. So what you want to be doing is bringing a full final trump card team, preferably with physical units, and have them all be LRs so that you can do the extra damage. For the Gogeta event, it's going to be fused fighters. Now, the thing about these two categories, there is a lot of overlap between these two categories. Fused Fighters, Final Trump Card, they all pretty much apply to both. So in terms of team building, if you've got one, you've essentially got the other. So it's going to be a little bit easier for you guys to put together some teams, especially since you might be playing this for a little while now from the 7-year anniversary, maybe even before that. So let's just jump in. Let me show you some possible sample teams that you can run on this event. Real quickly though, just looking at the category leads for Final Trump Card, you've got the Year 5 LRs. This is where they make your money back. So for those of you who pulled a bunch of these guys, you might have been cringing. Trust me, when they get their EZAs, they're going to be phenomenal. But until then, there's still solid units to run on these types of events. Of course, the 7-year Part 2 LR is also there. There are other categories that you can run within here. Battle of Wits, Super Class, Extreme Class. So don't be too afraid of this event if you don't have the appropriate leads. All you got to do is just make sure that you have the categories listed in your game while searching for also Final Trump Card. Same applies to Fused Fighters. Fused Fighters is basically just any fusion. So Patara or otherwise, Fusion Dance or Patara, and then in between, everything. It's very easy. So now let's just jump into the game and let me show you some possible teams that you can run, starting with the Int Vegito event. We'll start with that. So let's switch over to my game. So here we go. We are looking at right here. So this is the Final Trump Card team led by the STR Gogeta. I'm just going to cycle through these so that you guys can take a look, and then I'll point out the free-to-play team. Feel free to pause, screen capture, do whatever you got to do. These are not optimized teams. These are just listing a bunch of units just to remind you guys of the fact that they can be very useful. So we've got this whole team here, literally just Gogeta Vegito across the board. Then we've got an extreme version of the Final Trump Card team. We've got a couple LRs in there to catalyze the legendary power link. We also have some other solid attack force units. The physical cooler, while he's not an LR, he's going to do some good damage, I think. So you could bring him there. You could also bring some STR units. Then we've got the Fused Fighters team. Honestly, you bring Fused Fighters into Final Trump Card, you're going to be just fine. You honestly just bring your 200% 7-year anniversary LRs, you'll be just fine. You could throw in Cybermen and you'll be fine. Like, that's how good they are. So this is just filling out the roster with some random physical units that apply. We've also got a fusion team with a couple LRs in there. We've also got Battle of Wits. There's just so much overlap, folks. This is going to be a piece of cake putting together teams. The only thing you have to remember, since this is an Extreme Z battle, you cannot apply the same name update. You cannot bring two units that have the exact same name. So if you're wondering why all these Gogetas are able to show up, it's because they're all different names. They're not all one Vegito. They are different names. So the last team that I want to show you guys here is the free-to-play team, which is what I'm probably going to be running, which has two LRs as well, the LR Maju Battlefield and the LR Vegito Bleu. So those will be the two units on my main rotation. The rest will just basically try to keep me alive. And that is it for the Final Trump Card team. Now you're probably going to be seeing a bunch of these units showing up on the Fused Fighters version. So let's just jump in and take a look at this one. Since the Gogeta is physical, we're going to want to be primarily bringing STR units. So let's just jump in. Obviously, the number one team that you could possibly bring would just be a Fused Fighters team with the LR Super Saiyan 4s. You could also bring the gods in there, even though you're facing off against, on the other fight, you're facing off against Int. These guys are going to be so strong, it doesn't really matter. So I just left this blank because you could just throw on anybody. Like, all you got to do is just go to your box and then just look up Fused Fighters combined with any other category that you want. Let's just say Fusion. Full match, cross section, boom. These are all units that apply to Fusion and Fused Fighters. Very easy. Okay, so that's the first team. Another team you could possibly run would be a crossover team. Now, this one could be very interesting. No LRs here. You're simply just running crossover units. If you want to, you could do this because you got some really nice solid TURs here, all with type advantage. You got some nice support also with the Kuliza. This could be a fun challenge for some of you who might be bored and simply want to try to beat this without any LRs. You could try it this way. Another team you could possibly run would be a Realm of Gods team, which just brings all the famous LRs that are Realm of Gods, and the AGL Gogeta, who should do some nice damage too, especially when he transforms. Then we've also got the Battle of Wits once again. See, we're seeing a lot of overlap. A lot of the fusions are coming back. We've got a full STR Final Trump Card / fusion team. Every single unit in this category or in this team also has the fused fighter, obviously, because they're all fusions. And the last one that I have on the team is, or on the list here, is the free-to-play version. The only unit that is not on Fused Fighters is going to be the 1000-Day Goku, but that was the only strong lead that I could bring that was both type advantage and also an LR that I would want to run. So this is the squad right here, and again, I'm going to be using the Oob and the Vegito. So if that looks familiar, that's because that's exactly what I chose to run on my free-to-play team down here. So, like I said, overlap. Easy peasy, folks. 66 Dragonstones. This is going to be a piece of cake. Hopefully you guys are able to get these done as quickly as possible, and then you can be ready for the Super Saiyan 4's EZAs that follow whenever they follow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments, what teams do you guys have ready for these 2 Extreme Z battle events? Is it the same team? Are you going to try the free-to-play challenge? Are you going to try the non-LR challenge? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.